Good evening. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. We are excited. We have 12 wonderful honorees. This is the 12th year, and this is the year 2014 night that we're going to honor our reasons to believe honorees, and let's give them a great big hand. Well, you're going to experience the power of 12 on tonight, so it's all pretty exciting. The reason to believe was actually started as an opportunity to celebrate the successes and that our present students could see reasons to believe. Have you ever heard anybody say, what good thing could come out of Wyandotte County? Well, tonight, we're going to see another glimpse of some great people that came right out of Wyandotte County. Woo! I promise you that you will leave impressed, inspired, and proud. Before we begin, let me take this great opportunity to introduce you to the Board of Education Directors. I'm going to ask them if they would all please stand. Miss Gloria Willis, way in the corner. Miss Brenda Jones. Miss Crystal Watson, and Mr. George Brightenthal. Thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the community sponsors who support this event. As I read the names of the sponsors, will any of the representatives that are here, if you would, please stand and let us thank you. Catalyst Construction Group. All right. McCowan Gordon Construction. McInerney, Van Cleve, and Phillips. Don Evans Florist. And Staples. All right. Again, we thank you and your organizations for giving our students reasons to believe in a community that supports their development. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Cindy Lane. Let's give her a big hand.
First thing I have to do is get the mic down to a reasonable level. Good evening, everybody. What a wonderful evening it is to be here with all of you for this very special moment. I'd also like to start by thanking some young people that have been here helping us this evening, the junior ROTC cadets from Washington High School. Will you join me in thanking them? It's always good to remember what we do and why we do it. Across the district and across this community, Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools has provided its students with reasons to believe. Reasons to believe in our students, reasons to believe in our community, and certainly reasons to believe and give thanks to our teachers. As we welcome our 12 inductees tonight into the Reasons to Believe Alumni Honor Roll, 3 words came to mind. 3 very simple words, really. Making a difference. Making a difference. It is apparent that our teachers are making a difference in our lives. And frankly, honorees, as we hear your stories and your journeys, and we learn more about what you've done since you ran the halls of Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. I said ran, yeah. It's clear that you have made a tremendous difference in the lives of folks that you've touched, both here in this community and wherever your journeys have taken you. So Educators have made a difference, and they've made a difference to our alumni in some very special ways. Our educators made a difference to our alumni when a high school art teacher worked during her planning period to help an honoree build his portfolio so he could apply for college scholarships. Our teachers made a difference when a summer science camp at Eisenhower cultivated an interest in a now scientist. Our teachers made a difference when a sharp dresser who taught metalworks, I want you to think about that, gentlemen, a sharp dresser who taught metalworks class shared the art of tying a Windsor knot in a necktie and modeled dress like the work is important. Our teachers made a difference when they had opportunities for one of our honorees to participate in academic competitions in high school and allowed that thrill of competition without having to be an athlete. And our teachers made a difference to one of our honorees when his first trip away from home was to go to the Capitol in Topeka, where he learned about independence and leadership, and let me say, I believe, how to be a man. When the words of a traveling PE teacher echo today in the minds of one of our alumni, the words were, yes you can you can be anything. And a favorite mantra, spoken some 50 years ago, continues to live in the minds of one of our alum, and if you know it, say it with me. Good, better, best. Never let it until your good is and your better is. The power of our teachers. The educators in KCK are making a difference. And I would guess that when Superintendent Ray Daniels and Carol Mackey first talked to the board about starting the Reasons to Believe Alumni Honor Roll, they could not have imagined the power that this experience has had over the years and continues to have. And Dr. Daniels is here somewhere in the room. Would you please stand and let us thank you for that? Thank you. Thank you. The district and the board was looking for ways to shine a light on all the tremendous things that our alumni have done and share the stories to inspire our current students. We now have 146 graduates that have been inducted into the Reasons to Believe Honor Roll. Lamp post banners showcase our alumni in the community. You can see them on the far screens. And they hang in our high school hallways to inspire our students. Alumni, you are making a difference. And the banners in our schools every day remind our kids of the possibilities that lie before them. You have varied stories and very different backgrounds, but you have one commonality, the powerful influence that you're having on our current students. I happen to have an advisory board made up of high school students, and each and every year they say to us how important it is that they see you, the Reasons to Believe. They want to know the stories of people who have been successful, who've lived in their neighborhoods and have gone to their schools. And just this year, the elementary students are beginning to pay attention to Reasons to Believe. In fact, third graders across the district are involved in what's called the Day of Listening as part of their social studies curriculum. And for their project, they nominated another classmate to be a third grade Reasons to Believe in Kansas City, Kansas. Students were interviewed and wrote some nominations, and I wanted to share a couple of examples with you so you could see the power. Felipe Ramirez was nominated by one of his third grade peers. He attends Ms. Hott's class at Whittier Elementary. He will graduate in 2024, and he will graduate from college in 2028. Now, these are the words from our kids, I want you to know. I believe Felipe should be considered for a third grade Reasons to Believe in Kansas City, Kansas, because he's a good artist in school. He works hard. He's been involved in school sports and after-school activities. He plays soccer. His dad coaches him to play better. He received honors. He received an award for helping his community. He helps his family. He helps his dad clean his room. He helps his mom take care of his brother. He believes this makes him a Reasons to Believe. And yet another third grader wrote, One of the things that Navis Vasquez wants to accomplish in the future is being a teacher. She wants to learn. She wants to impact teachers and other students in her community because it's important. And the last example for tonight, one of the things that Mario Moreno wants to accomplish is to be in the Army so he can protect his community. These are our third graders that are looking at you, alumni, and they want to emulate the great works that you're doing. So you're making a difference in your community with children and youth in ways that you may never know. It's a tremendous impact, and we're so grateful for all you've done. This week happens to be American Education Week, and it is not by accident that we hold this ceremony on this week to hold up the power of public education and what it really means in the lives of all of us. We're grateful to each of you. You're examples of the possibilities of what it means to live in KCK, what it means to go to our schools, and what it means to make a difference in the lives of others. Congratulations.
Back up again. And now we'll start the induction of our 2014 Alumni Honor Roll. But before we start, I know that there are some past Alumni Honor Roll recipients that have joined us this evening. Could you please stand? Wow, it's a bunch. Thank you for joining us on this evening. The principals of the alma maters of our Alumni Honor Roll recipients will introduce this year's inductees. When each member of the Honor Roll is named, please join us on stage to receive your award and be recognized. To recognize the first inductee, please welcome Jeremy Brueggemann, I did better this year, principal at Argentine Middle School. Let's give him a big hand.
Good evening. First of all, I want to congratulate all of the Alumni Honor Roll recipients tonight on behalf of Argentine Middle School. You make us very proud. Argentine was once a junior-senior high school, for those of you that were not aware. And our first honoree is a graduate of Argentine High School. I would like to tell you a little bit about him. He is Drew Jennings, Argentine High School, class of 1964. Drew Jennings is the former president, CEO, and chairman of Kansas City Power and Light. He joined the company in 1974 as an attorney and spent the next 27 years moving up the ladder, retiring as chairman of the board. After leaving KCP&L, he served as interim athletic director at the University of Kansas before joining the law firm of Shugart, Thompson, and Kilroy. Drew said that his life has been guided by the lessons and spirit of perseverance that he learned at Argentine High. His coaches pushed him beyond his comfort zone and taught him the definition of dedication. His classroom teachers challenged him and encouraged him to never give up. These lessons combined gave him the tools he needed to be successful. During his years moving up the ladder at KCP&L, Drew often heard the voices of his teachers in his head, telling him how to construct a paragraph, how to calculate rates, or what the chemical reactions are for different substances. Throughout his life, he has given countless volunteer hours to community organizations. Please help me congratulate Drew Jennings.
undermines your confidence a little bit when the photographer fails to use the flash when he takes your picture. You don't believe he's really serious. But David, I appreciate the gesture anyhow. Drs. Hill and Dr. Lane, I want to thank you very much for what the district, the administration of this district and what the Board of Education has done to continue the excellence and the reputation of this district that is known throughout the metropolitan Kansas City area, and has made me proud to be a product of it at every occasion where I've had a chance to hear that praise. I'm also grateful to a good friend and classmate, Linda Pendleton, who I think was the nominator for me to accept this award tonight. She's a previous award winner herself and was a member of the school board here for about a decade. Linda, thank you so much, I think. You flatter me with this award, and particularly as I look at the profiles of the other honorees this evening, at the richness and the diversity of the careers and lives that they have fashioned for themselves, all of us with a common root of having attended school here in Wyandotte County and in the Kansas City, Kansas School District. And I feel quite humbled to be counted among that dozen people. As a matter of fact, my record pales in comparison to theirs, I'm afraid. My parents were able to provide me with a value system and a work ethic that was crucial for my growth and development in later life, and I'll always be grateful to them for that. But Argentine High School, with its collection of dedicated teachers and coaches, is where the work ethic and a value system got fashioned into goals and dreams and work habits. Dreams are not real, but goals can be. And when you take work ethic and convert that into work practices and work habits, you can begin to do something with your life. I had a phys ed teacher and an assistant football coach named Tom Fitzgerald, who one time in a gym class said, "Jennings, you've got some ability, but if I ask you to do 50 push-ups, you need to learn to do 51. Just a passing comment like that, which was meant to be nothing more than what he was saying, resonated with me throughout my life. Because this morning, when I set the timer on my treadmill to do my morning exercise and wanted to go 3 miles per hour for an hour's time, I set it at 3.1 miles and went for an hour and 2 minutes. And I've never forgotten, metaphorically, that one little inconsequential comment he made to me, and I've thought about it all my life, and I don't know why it resonated, but it did. Later in my high school career, I was blessed with a track coach who pushed me beyond limits that I felt I had. He made me do things that I didn't think were in me. And he taught me in the process to become a champion. He taught me the price you have to pay to stand up and receive the gold medals or to be awarded the recognition for winning. His name was Gene Clossy. He died just about a year ago, and I will forever be grateful to that man for what he was able to do in teaching me those valuable lessons. I won't tell you that I always pushed myself as hard as he did, but he did teach me what you have to do. I promised that I'd be short this evening, and I will. I learned an invaluable lesson attending Argentine, one that has stayed with me my life. You can do what you're asked, and you can do a good job, and you can get by. You do a little bit more, and you can get ahead. And I'm grateful for that lesson. Thank you. Thank you.
And Drew, before you go, the staff and students at Argentine have a small memento of this occasion that we would like to give to you as well. I have 2 yearbooks. The first is from 1964, your senior year. And I would like to add you were very involved in high school, as you are found on many pages in this yearbook. And then the second is our most recent edition from 2014, exactly 50 years later. So on behalf of Argentine Middle School, congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Maritza Paul, principal at Washington High School. It is a real special honor for me this evening to stand before you to introduce one of the honorees, Dr. Jason Strickland. As far as I'm concerned, this is as close as I will ever come to being in a position where I can speak so honestly and freely about someone of his distinction. Just so you know, Dr. Strickland, before tonight, I asked permission of the superintendent, Dr. Lane, and she approved for me to go off script. An occasion like this is a very unique one, and to all of you who have warned me that there's a Chiefs game, that makes no difference. In my mind, the man of the hour, the star of the show tonight, is my own Dr. Jason Strickland. So Dr. Strickland, one of the qualities that I appreciate so much about you as my immediate supervisor is that you have absolutely no problem taking my directives. So here's the one for you tonight. When you leave the pulpit, after you've accepted your award and shared your story with us, you will not leave the podium. You will stand and you will wait for me to honor you on behalf of the staff and students of Washington High School. And now I read the script. Is the Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education for the Kansas City, Kansas Public. It's not only his work, but also his background that makes him an invaluable asset to the district. Many of his family members have been actively involved in the district, and many have been employed by it in positions ranging from educators to custodians to bus drivers and nutritional service staff members. Jason has spent his entire career in KCKPS, beginning as a classroom teacher. His favorite part of his work is watching students grow and watching leaders grow. As a student at Washington High School, he had so many staff who gave him reasons to believe in himself. From his theater teacher to his assistant principal, they provided an expectation for him to do what was right and helped to engage him in the educational process. Strickland's first male teacher inspired him to want to be an educator. He was a wonderful role model, and as he progressed through school, Jason imagined himself in that teacher's position. He had planted a seed. That modeling, combined with Jason's family ties to education, brought him back home after college to live and teach in the KCK schools. Congratulations, Dr. Strickland.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. And she's not kidding about telling me what to do. She's telling the truth. And you took it a bit easy on me. All right, it's not over yet. Okay. Well, thank you again, Dr. Paul. I want to start off and thank the people that I believe nominated me. That's Mr. Alan King and Dr. Mary Viveros. I appreciate that so very much, you all. These are colleagues I get to work with every day, and I respect so much of what you do, and I thank you so much for thinking enough of me to nominate me, and I appreciate that. I want to thank my family and that's here. Family, wave to me. Thank you, family. I see you all over the place. I appreciate that. My friends and my colleagues that are here, I appreciate your support, and I thank you so much. And I also want to echo the congratulations to the 2014 honorees. I am very pleased to be mentioned with you, but not just the current honorees. I want to say thank you for all the past honorees, and thank you for being such role models for us. I feel so very humbled and honored to be in the company of such great people with such great accomplishments. When you get an award, you feel compelled that you need to say something very profound and meaningful. I don't know how profound it'll be, but at least try to be meaningful. The intent will be very meaningful. So to organize my thoughts, I thought about it in a unique way. I thought about it like this. I'm going to try to be a little bit teachy. Yeah, I made that word up, but a little bit teachy because I am a teacher. I'm going to be a little bit preachy because I've been around preachers my whole life. And I'm going to be, probably most importantly, try to be a little bit briefy because I'm one of the voices in between you and that Chiefs game. So I will try to go quickly through this. This award made me think about and reflect, and it prompted the question, why me? And I started to look at the list of people that are honored too, and the people that have been honored, and I really started to ask, why me? Why am I so deserving of this? I don't feel that I am at the same level of all those reasons. I have so much respect for them. So I had to position it a little bit differently so that I could be comfortable with it and think about it in a way that could sit with me. So I had to think about it like this, that I am just a representative of all of my reasons to believe. I'm just a face for all of my reasons to believe. I'm kind of like the gumbo or the stew of my reasons to believe. I'm here because I've been around such quality KCK people. Those people are my friends, my families, my colleagues, my teachers, my administrators. I'm here because KCK makes up the very fabric of who I am. My relationship with KCK School District is historical, it's extensive. To give you an example, if you were to look at the marker, the Sumner marker that's in front of Douglas Elementary School, the very first name on that marker is Roosevelt Strickland, my grandfather. And if you look through those names, you'll see names like Joe Strickland, Jerome Strickland, Mabel Strickland. You'll see Gwen Davis Strickland, my mother. You'll see Ramel. You'll see Mebanes there. You'll see all types and all are members of my family there. And when I first saw that, I saw it with such pride. And those are some of the reasons why I am here. They're my reasons to believe. But then my relationship goes on. It's more extensive. You heard in the bio that my family has been intimately involved with KCK. The cadet that walked me up here is my cousin. Board members, you've heard me talk about a young man named Jason, a student. He's in the back there. I've used him as an example of why our work is so important. I've had relatives, one her birthday is today, been a bus driver for us for several years. Relatives who worked in nutritional services, relatives who were secretaries. All of those things connected to KCK are some of the reasons why I am here and my reasons to believe. But it goes on from that. Not only did KCK groom me in terms of an academic career, I came back to KCK to work. And I had the luxury of being mentored and shepherded by so many great people. Dr. Ray Daniels, who's in the back, was someone I must mention, profound impact on me. James White, Cindy Lane, my colleagues on my council. I have to mention my work wife. Those of you who know me, Marcy Clay. She's, but also great impact on me. And I know I run the risk when I start thanking people I'm going to miss somebody. So I'm going to stop right there and not thank anybody else. My grandmother used to tell a story. She'd say, Jay, when I start thanking the Lord for all the blessings, I just think of more and more stuff to thank him for. So when I start thanking people for all of their contributions to me, I start thinking of more and more people to thank. And I'll say to you all, I appreciate all of what you've done for me. Again, I'll stop because I know I said I'd be briefy, and I'm probably a little past briefy now, but I'm wrapping up. I promise you, I'm wrapping up. And I'm getting to the close. So in closing, I have to go back to my roots. Some of you know that I'm very connected, and my family was owners of Peppermint Child Care Center, and that really kind of groomed me into being an educator. And one of the things I had the honor of doing, pleasure of doing as working, well, when you work for your father, I don't know that you call it work, you just call it go do it. But I got a chance to read to preschoolers a lot, and I'm going to share a statement from this book, The Places You Will Go. Just two pages. It says, congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. Someone thought enough of me to nominate me for a perceived success in this body of work, and I'm very appreciative. But I hope that I am not done. I want to continue to do my very best to excel in this school district. I want to continue to give back to the students in this school district and to this community. And I say I respectfully request the same of everyone in this room, to do the same with a young person, with your community. Hopefully that's KCK community. And know that it will be recognized. It will be appreciated. I'll close with this final story. My dad used to tell my brother and I all kinds of quotes all the time. He would say things like, "Slugger, sleep not thy life away. There'll be plenty of time of sleeping when thou art in thy grave." He'd say, the smallest deed is worth more than the grandest intention. He'd say, what's time to a pig? I never really understood what that one meant, but it's kind of catchy. And he would have this analogy or this little story that would, whenever you would do something good or he catch somebody good, do something good, he would tell me or my brother or whoever, hey, that's a feather in your wings. And so it was a reminder to continue to do good things for people or in just period, because it'd be a feather in your wings. And how that plays out is you're building your set of wings for when you get into heaven. And if you have a life full of great and good deeds, you will have a huge set of wings when you get up there. Now, if your life isn't filled, you'll have a little tiny set of wings. And you'll be flapping around like this. It'll be harder to stay up in heaven if you're kind of flapping around like this with tiny sets of wings. But if you have a great big set of wings, you will be able to flap once and stay in heaven for years and years. So I encourage us all to do great things and good things for our community, our young people, so that we can grow our set of wings and it'll be recognized when we get to heaven. Thank you all so very much for this recognition.
Dr. Strickland, I can tell you that compared to Jairus Jones about 2 reasons to believe ago, you were briefy. And I think the crowd agrees with me. One of the things that I so appreciate about you, Dr. Strickland, as a leader, is your ability to work with someone like me, allow me to be myself, but still push me in areas that are a little bit uncomfortable. It's because of you that lately people use words to describe me like friendly, approachable, caring. Thank you, Dr. Strickland. My wings are growing. On a more serious note, one of the abilities that Dr. Strickland has that is not very well known is his poetic prowess. I jokingly refer to him as the poet in residence. And as I sought and pondered and wondered how to really express to you the impact that you have made and continue to make on Washington High School and on the district as a whole, I decided that you needed a poem. So here you go, Dr. Strickland. And my only request is that at some point you annotate the text. The title is Ode to a Leader. Some theories espouse that great leaders are born, while others contend that they are made. Devoid of all virtues, some reach it through fame, and chance thrusts it on others. Their image adorns. Yet great is not a term that solely defines you. Its boundaries are too narrow, too limited its reach. By your excellent example, constant lessons you teach. To the principles of a wildcat, you've remained ever true. You show pride in your city, district, and school. In turn, we salute you and revel in part that you've stayed close to home and dear to our hearts. A principled leader, you've lived by the rule. Your passion inspires us to achieve heights unknown. Commitment to excellence is the refrain we hear when, with unending questions, you push us to share next steps for improvement. What has the data shown? You're building our capacity to lead and to care. You're keeping the dreams of our children intact. Your modeling of excellence is never an act. No matter the tempest, we know you're right there. Dr. Odd Jason Strickland, this poem is simply a praise song for you, our reason to believe honoree of 2014. And this is from the staff and students of Washington High School, and the author is Dr. Maritza Paul.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Richard, and I'm the proud principal of Sumner Academy of Arts and Science. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about a few people we are very, very proud of at Sumner. The first person we'd like to talk about is Wesley Burt. Wesley Burt is a concept artist, illustrator who has taken what he loves and turned it into a career. His character drawings have been featured in film series, including Transformers and G.I. Joe, and in popular video games like Lord of the Rings Online and League of Legends. For the past 10 years, he has worked with the team at Massive Black Ink, a studio based in San Francisco that develops artwork and animation for the entertainment industry. Wesley loved art in school, and he also was drawn to comic books. He remembers attending comic book conventions each year at the Reardon Convention Center. He would study some of the art and make his own sketches, picking up some of the techniques from his favorite ones. In high school, he worked toward earning a scholarship to art school. He credits his art teachers at Sumner Academy who work with him on special projects during planning periods and after school to help him build his portfolio. Many would say his talents have helped him achieve success, but he says it's his dedication and hard work. Congratulations to you, Wesley.
Thank you. I don't have much to say. I'm going to be pretty brief. So I just want to thank the school district and thank my family. I've pretty much just been drawing since I was a little kid, and I think a lot of the teachers kind of honed in on that early on and helped me kind of move into that rather than discourage it. So I think that was really influential. And I just want to really support the creative side of schooling and all that. I think everything I do is based in drawing, but it's also based in creative problem solving, and definitely something that we did a lot of at Sumner. Just all the different classes kind of helped out with that. Outside of that, I don't have much to say other than what was already said. So I just like doing what I do, and I'm happy to be here. And thank you so much.
Next, we'd like to recognize Dr. Simone Ellis. Dr. Ellis decided her career path when she was in the 2nd grade. An unplanned shadowing experience at the dentist's office ignited a spark in her. She knew then that she wanted to become a dentist, and as she made her way through school, her dream became bigger, and that was to open her own dental practice. She made both dreams come true. Today, she owns Smile Design Studios in Missouri City, Texas. She loves helping families and being part of their lives, and she likes having the flexibility of owning her own business. Simone credits her career success to her parents who nurtured her along the way and let her know that failure was never an option. She also had a number of teachers who gave her reasons to believe in herself. Her 1st grade teacher at Claude Huck Elementary posted a banner in the classroom that said, "I can kids." She wanted her students to know that they can do anything. She thrived at Sumner Academy because of the inspirational environment that invested in her learning. She said, it's one thing to teach somebody, but it's another thing to inspire them. Congratulations, Simone.
Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be up here. These are my 10-second heels, so I only have 10 seconds. I'll make my way to my seat. What an honor to be a part of such an amazing school district, and I really want to thank the people that nominated me. And as I look out in this audience and I see so many people that have had some form of an impact in my life, whether it be my dermatologist that I just saw was here, or my computer teacher, you know, it's just amazing to see that it's not just one person that has had an impact on who I've become, but it is truly, truly a community. So with that, I want to say thank you. I feel extremely blessed to be so young and get this amazing opportunity to be a reason to believe. I'm still trying to believe in myself every day. I want to thank my family. They are truly my reasons to believe, and if anybody's had an experience with having either my mother as one of their educators or my father being the bully at the gym, it has truly made me who I am. So I want to just thank everybody. What a blessing. I truly, truly appreciate it. And again, like I said, for anybody who's been here in the audience that knows me, you have made an impact in my life in some way, shape, or fashion, whether you know it or not. And I want to tell you thank you for that. Thank you.
Lloyd Freeman. Lloyd Freeman is an attorney with the Archer & Garner in Haddonfield, New Jersey. He practices commercial and civil litigation in state and federal courts in both New Jersey and Pennsylvania. He loves the competitive nature of law. He said going to court gives him such an adrenaline rush that he feels like a gladiator in a suit. His involvement and success in forensics at Sumner Academy further developed those analytical skills, as well as his research, analysis, and persuasion abilities. In fact, the knowledge he gained from a number of his Sumner classes built a solid foundation for him to draw from today. Lloyd counts amongst his greatest accomplishments passing the state bar in both New Jersey and Pennsylvania at the same time, and being named Young Lawyer of the Year in 2010 by the New Jersey Bar Association. He is most proud of his work to provide financial assistance and mentorship to college-bound students through the Tripod Foundation, which he co-founded, and the Burlington Camden Achievement Foundation. Through these organizations, he has helped provide more than $100,000 in scholarships funding to students. Congratulations, Lloyd.
Thank you so much. You know, ever since I found out that I was going to be receiving this award tonight, it gave me a chance to reflect on some of those past awards and accolades that I've received over my career and also my personal life. And I get so excited when I think about them for a couple of reasons. The first is that whenever I receive an award, I go get a new suit. But, but the second, and on a more serious note, is really that, you know, when you look at my body of work and a lot of the things that I've done in my career, I am just truly blessed to have been afforded all of those opportunities to do the things that I do each day. I'm reminded of a few of those experiences, and I want to point out just a few of them. One of the first that I can remember is back in college when I was a student at Howard University. And I was a little bit of a nerd in my French class. And I was one of the students who was selected to go to New York, my first time going to New York, to go to the United Nations to translate French for the foreign diplomats. And so I remember telling my friends, like, listen, it doesn't get any hotter than this. Like, I'm going to the United Nations. I'm rubbing elbows with foreign diplomats. I just thought that was like the pinnacle of like what I was ever going to achieve. But the blessings just kept on coming. And as was mentioned before, a few years later, after I was already into private practice, I was named the Young Lawyer of the Year for the state of New Jersey. And I remember, of course, going back to my friends and my colleagues and saying, okay, for real this time. It doesn't get any better than this. Like, the whole state, and they picked me out of everybody else. But again, the blessings just kept on coming. And then this past year, I got a phone call from some of the powers that be in New Jersey. And they said that they would like me to moderate a debate between 7 candidates who are vying for a seat with the United States Congress. And so I said, okay, listen. A federal debate that's going to be on television, you're talking about Congress, that's national exposure. It really cannot ever get any better than this. But when I got the email about this award, and I found out that I was going to be asked to come back to Kansas City, I know now for sure that it will never, ever get better than this. Like Simone just said a minute ago, to be surrounded by so many of your family and your friends, that's something that you can only get in Kansas City. And I know I drag my wife out to all these banquets and dinners, and she's the Bonnie to my Clyde. And we hit the road with all these events, but I mean, you just really, the love that you get in a room like this with all of your family and friends and teachers, that's an indescribable feeling. And so I hope that you guys know how much this award means to me. Very quickly before I take my seat, tomorrow I'm going to be going back to my alma mater, the Sumner Academy, and I'm going to be speaking to a few of the students there, and I guess I'm supposed to be giving them some reasons to believe. And one of the things that I really want to impress upon those young people is that I want you to do more than just your profession, because your career, it's simply what you do, it's not who you are. And I know my mom says this, she just said it the other day. She said that I must have more than 24 hours in my day to do all the things that I'm involved in. But my answer is always the same whenever someone says that to me. It's just that people find time to do the things that they love. You will make time for it. And what I love is I love service. I love giving back to young people and helping them out with their college access and helping them to finance their educations. It was Shirley Chisholm who once said that service is the rent we pay for our time here on earth. And so I don't think that truer words can ever be spoken, because sure, you can be a corporate attorney and you can go make a lot of money, but you really can't take that with you. That can't be your legacy. That can't be what you leave behind, the fact that you had a job. There has to be more to you than that if you really want to leave a legacy. A couple of years ago, I lost my dad. And my dad died at a very young age. He had not yet reached the age of 50. And one of the revelatory moments I had with that entire experience was that your time is finite. None of us has forever. And so you have to do something impactful with the time that you do have. And so for me, coming out of that, I realized that I don't want my life to be about its duration. My life is going to be about my donation. It's going to be about what I do to give back and to give thanks. So I want to do that now. I want to make sure that I give thanks to the Kansas City Public Schools for giving me this amazing honor at such a young age. I think I'm still young. The students tomorrow might tell me differently. Thank you so much for this award. Thank you to all of my family and friends. You really don't know how much this means to me to have so many people here with me tonight. Thank you, of course, to my wife for traveling with me here all the way from New Jersey. I really appreciate you. And Ms. Hodges. Ms. Hodges is my 6th grade social studies teacher. And she nominated me for this award. So thank you so much, Ms. Hodges, for that. Have a good night.
For those of you that aren't aware, before there was Sumner Academy of Arts and Science, there was Sumner High School. And I would be remiss. I would be remiss if I did not talk about the strong legacy that has made Sumner Academy of Arts and Science who we are today, because of the legacy of such individuals as the one I'm going to mention here, who is a graduate of Sumner High School. Dr. Leroy Pitts. Dr. Pitts spent 49 years as an educator. He taught for 14 years in the Kansas City, Kansas public schools. Then he moved on to teach at Penn Valley Community College for 35 years, and even served as chair of their biology department. In 1995, he received the Governor's Award for Excellence in Teaching for challenging and motivating students. He was born to be an educator, but he didn't know it. His undergraduate degree is in industrial design and drafting with a minor in science. However, in 1958, he took a temporary job as a science teacher at Northeast Junior High, and that's where he fell in love with teaching. The experience of seeing a light turn on in his students' eyes was one that he wanted to relive again and again. Leroy had a constant thirst for knowledge growing up, and he had so many teachers who gave him empirical answers to all of his why questions. It gave him a passion for learning, which stayed with him throughout his life. His teaching philosophy is, our battle is to get our youth to believe in their possibilities and in the worth of trying. Congratulations, Leroy.
My assignment was for 1 or 2 minutes. Asking a teacher to do that is almost impossible. But since I'm retired, I believe I can. With the time that I have, I don't have time to share with you many of the things that I have achieved. I had an opportunity that's come my way. I have enough time to at least just simply say to those who nominated me and who felt like I should have been a part of this, I want to say thank you. Special thanks to Dr. Patricia Carruthers, she'll get me later, and others who have just done a wonderful job. When they called me and told me about it, I wanted to know what the program was about. They said it was to encourage young people. Then I said, go ahead, you could put my name in if you think that I'm eligible. I want to say thanks to my wife and my family who have supported me in everything I've done. And then I want to say thanks to my classmates who are here. There's a few of them that I see here. We're up in age, so we can't go to all these things. I see Dr. Harge's Shoemate, who's in the 51 class. Would you stand, Dr. Shoemate? Is there any other classmates here? Talk with me later. I'll share with you some things that our class did that no other class has done that came out of Sumner High School. But I do want to share with you what is meaningful to me. I can't tell you about every teacher that I've had that touched my life, because there are just numerous of them. But the one thing I can do is to gather together what I believe all of them did to us and did for us in our presence when we were at Sumner High School. There's one thing that research has already proven, that self-esteem is the key thing. Our teachers knew they couldn't change our neighborhoods, they couldn't put money in the bank, but they could build up our functional self-esteem. So when we left Sumner High School, we left believing we were significant, because our teachers modeled it. When we left Sumner High School, our teachers made us feel like we were capable. We walked out, you could call it arrogance or anything you want, but we walked out feeling that we were capable. Functional self-esteem. And then we left Sumner High School believing that we were responsible for what happened with the choices that we made. And so one thing, if I can just gather it together, that speaks about what our teachers tried to do for us. The heights by great men reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. That's what our teachers told us we had to be about. While others were sleeping, we had to be toiling. Mrs. Goddard, Dr. Lane, I believe the reasons to believe adds to and goes along with the functional self-esteem that every student needs. And I thank you for this award very, very much.
Good evening. My name is Mary Stewart. I'm the principal of Wyandotte High School. Wyandotte High School is a beautiful building with 2 towers, and I bring mention of that because the East Tower represents character, and the West Tower represents the pursuit of knowledge. And I think our reasons to believe candidates, honorees tonight, are definitely representative of those towers of character and the pursuit of knowledge. Again, may we please show our recognition for all of our alums this evening. It is my pleasure to introduce you to some Wyandotte alum. First, from the class of 1966, I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Nedra Bonds. Nedra Bonds is an artist who uses her talents to share messages about social justice and to teach and persevere and to preserve our history. Her primary art medium is quilt making. She has created more than 100 quilts. They have been displayed in various traveling art shows and locally at the Jazz Museum, the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center, the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and Park University. During the 2013-14 school year, Nedra got students at Stony Point South and Quindaro Elementary Schools involved in Quilts of Heroes project. She introduced the students to dozens of Wyandotte County natives and had them create portraits of them. She turned them into 8 beautiful quilts. She still carries with her some of the messages that came from her teachers, who taught her when she was a student at Quindaro. Her PE teacher told students, "You can do anything." And her 4th grade teacher, who was from Russia, shared stories of the hard life she had growing up and told students, no matter what you're going through, you can overcome it. Let us please raise our voices and cheer for Miss Nedra Bonds.
Y'all have been preached to, you've been taught, you've been bored probably. Let's have a little fun because I'm happy. So happy to be given this honor. I had no clue. You know, when I was growing up, my grandmother used to say, when you get old, you can do anything you want to, but people think you senile. So I'm going to take 2 minutes to do anything I want. Life in Kansas City, Kansas, when I came through high school was hard. My mama and my daddy told me, you go into those white schools, they were white schools then, you're not going to be ignorant, you're going to do the very best you can, and we'll be behind you no matter what. They always were. I can remember a time at Wyandotte High School where I made straight A's, honor roll. We had to go to homeroom to show our grade cards to the homeroom teacher. And we fill up this little form that said honor roll and what your grades were. I put down the straight ones, and the man told me, "You didn't do this." So I took out my grade cards one at a time, peeled them out. One, straight A's. Had the honor roll. I met the principal, the woman principal at Wyandotte, who can verify that, because she told me. She saw my records. She saw, they still have them. I would like to have copies. Because my grandchildren don't get it either. But I want to thank you so very much. It's so good to have a hometown, you know, where people, even people you don't know you. You know, Georgia and William Patton didn't play. Y'all know. My parents did not play. But I'm very, very honored to be here in the presence of Mr. Brown, all these other people. Hey, Wyandotte has the longest list on your list today, so you got 4 people. And most of us are artists of one kind or another. So thank you very much for allowing me to come and talk to you. And besides some of the most traumatizing things that ever happened to me, including the time when George Bridenthal put rubber vomit on my desk. I got over it, 'cause I'm happy.
Nedra, we will have a copy of your transcript when you come see us at Wyandotte. We also have for you this evening a special pin that we wear. The staff members and the honor grads are the only ones who receive this pin, and they wear it with pride for the excellence of Wyandotte High School. And we also would like to have our honor alum wearing it too. Tomorrow it is. Our next honoree is from the class of 1982 of Wyandotte High School. Please welcome Mr. Norman Brown. Norman is an artist. Norman Brown is a Grammy award-winning musician who has been engaging audiences for more than 2 decades. The multi-talented guitarist, composer, and singer is known for his rhythm and blues and contemporary jazz. Norman grew up with parents who appreciated classic jazz music. Guitar music was always around, and he began playing the guitar at the age of 8. It was during his high school years at Wyandotte that he fully developed his musical style for which he is known today. After graduating from high school, Norman moved to Los Angeles to pursue his musical career, attending the Guitar Institute of Technology, now called the Musicians Institute, where he also taught for a time. He began writing his own music and developing his own sound and performed in local clubs. People began comparing him with George Benson, and soon he was discovered and signed to the Mojazz label, a division of Motown. By that time, he had written more than 100 songs. He has released a total of 9 solo albums and 2 albums with his BWB band. Congratulations to you, Norman. We welcome you this evening.
Good evening. Reasons to Believe. Roy and Geneva Brown. 6 sisters, 1 brother. Dunbar Elementary School, Fairfax, Northeast, Northwest, and of course, Wyandotte. It's amazing. It hit me upside the head when I was about 8 years old. I knew there was something inside of me trying to get out and express to the world feelings of life. And I started believing. And then I had mirrors put in my face all around me. At home, my sisters, my brothers, my parents, you're going to do great, you're going to do great, you got something special. I'd go to school, my friends, my teachers, you're going to do something great, you have something special. It was all over this district. So I'm extremely honored to stand here and receive this honor amongst all these wonderful honorees and, you know, current and past, future as well. Thank you guys. And I want to thank my family, came out, my sisters, they're there. They used to make me practice all the time. My fiance traveled here with me to support, and all of you for attending and all that you do. Let's keep the inspiration inside of people, and I believe it will come back out and circulate into this thing I call the circle of love. Thank you so much.
As Norman is still on stage, I'd be remiss not to point out those beautiful red, Wyandotte red shoes. Our next honoree is our alum from the class of 1974, Mr. Phil S. Dixon. Phil Dixon is a Negro League baseball author, speaker, and historian. For more than 30 years, he has appeared on numerous television and radio programs nationwide, speaking about the Negro League and its players. He has seen a great deal of success in his life. So far, he has published 9 books. But he admits that he has failed as many times as he has succeeded. In fact, one of his first books, The Negro Baseball Leagues, A Photographic History from 1867 to 1955, was turned down 100 times before it was published. Once published, it went on to win the Macmillan Society for American Baseball Research Award for Excellence in Baseball Research and the Casey Award for the Best Baseball Book of 1992. The basic principles of writing that he uses in his work are ones that he learned from his 7th grade teacher, Patricia Carruthers. His homeroom teacher at Northeast, Harold Foster, shared his love of baseball with Dixon. A number of his teachers motivated him to strive for excellence and didn't accept excuses for low achievement. Phil remembers his first leadership role in his life was being a drum major at Wyandotte High School. That set the stage for many others. Congratulations, Phil.
I'm a writer, so I bought notes. That also helps me stay on track. And so I don't want to take too much of your time. I do want to thank Mary Stewart for the nice introduction, and I also want to thank Dr. Love for the fine job she's doing, and then also Tammy Dotteridge, who sent numerous emails to make things happen, and we worked together, hopefully get Norman here. So glad to see Norman, who actually lived on 7th Street where I grew up, so he's from the old neighborhood. And also, I want to thank my family that came tonight, my friends that came tonight. I appreciate that so much. And I want to thank my wife for 30 years, and she is an educator. And then just moving down the list, I wish to thank my parents. My father was 49 when I was born, and my mother was 44. So I just barely snuck in here. And, and my father was from Louisiana. He had a fifth grade education. And my mother was a graduate of Western University in Quindaro, Kansas. And of course, they would be over 100 years old if they were alive today. But through them, I was able to have dreams. They made sure that, and visions. And they gave me an appreciation for people, all people, and a love for people, regardless of their race, their religion, or their economics. And I appreciate that so much because I've tried to carry that on. And there are other people I could thank. I saw Chester Owens here tonight, who's been a great influence. And then, of course, the first historian I ever met was a gentleman by the name of Orrin Murray. And I met him in music class, of all places, at Northeast. And then, of course, there was a lady across the street from me. Her name was Nanny Campbell. And her son went on to be the second-rated lightweight in the world in the 1950s as a professional boxer. And, of course, behind me was a lady by the name of Georgia Dwight, who was married to Eddie Dwight, who would play for the Kansas City Monarchs. And her son became the first African-American in the astronaut program. So there was greatness all around me. And as a young child, there was a family that moved into my neighborhood, the Parkers. Hank Parker, probably you remember him, he was at Northeast. He was a teacher. And I went up to their house, and because my mother worked in the evening and my father had his own business, I ate at their house all the time. And it was the first time that I had met two college graduates. And they were from Tennessee State. And HBCU, I didn't know what an HBCU was. But at the second grade, I knew they came from Tennessee State. And that made an impact on me. And I ate dinner there all the time, and she was like a mother. And also, as I got a little bit older and graduated, I was pretty interested in politics, or civil rights, I might add. And so I searched out people like Stokely Carmichael, and I had a chance to actually sit down and talk with him. I even marched with Ralph Abernathy. And it was the 1980s, and the civil rights movement was a little different than what I anticipated, what I saw in the 60s. So I created my own civil rights movement through sports. And that's what I've been doing over the years. And this past week, I just came from, I was in Garnett, Kansas, and then I was in Sioux City, Iowa, and then I finished up in Nashville. And I'm on a 90-city tour to take the message of the Negro Baseball Leagues. And I did 35 this year, and I got 50 more next year. And it's a pretty ambitious thing. But every time I go out to speak, I'm reminded of the people who helped me. And the interesting thing, I went to those three cities, but it was through my education that I had the first opportunity to actually go somewhere. In the 6th grade, we took a trip to Six Flags over Texas. And this is instrumental because I had never gone anywhere. I've only been to Kansas City, Missouri a couple of times. Kansas City, Kansas was it. This was home. Everything I knew, all the people came from Kansas City, Kansas. And then when I was a 16-year-old, I was a trumpet player, and I went to Wichita, Kansas, to the jazz festival with our band, and I got a chance to meet Stan Kenton. And that was the second place I went. And then we went to Topeka one time. So I went more places last week than I did in the first 17 years of my life. I might also add, and there's some people probably from Northeast, in the 9th grade, I was what they called the MAPO champion. I don't know if people remember MAPO. MAPO was they would take a blank map, and it only had the outline of the countries, and we would compete against other children. So you had to put your pointer on the equator, and then they would call out, teachers would call out a country, and then we put it on the country. So they call out, and it could be some little tiny countries. You had to know the whole continent of Africa. And I knew all these places, but I had never left the city hardly. And this made an impact on me. So there was a number of people, and I just want to run down this list real quickly. Because I realize now that you only get out of your education what you put into it, and not to take your education for granted. But sometime when I'm writing and people look at my penmanship and they say, "You've got great penmanship." Well, I can thank Miss Raines, my 2nd grade teacher, for that. Also, when I give speeches, I'm able to speak very well. And of course, I can thank Miss Raines again, because we had a book called On Cherry Street was the name of our second grade book. And I could not say street. I could only say screet. And I can remember being in class and Miss Raines saying the word is street, say street. And I'm saying screet, street. And so anyway, every time I speak, I can thank Miss Raines. And then also, by the time I got to seventh grade, I'm taking Patricia Carruthers. You talk about teachers who did not play. You got an education in her class. As a matter of fact, I remember she said, if you don't do your homework in my class, you will be here next year. And she looked over she said, and the year after that, and she looked over at a student and she said, isn't that right? She would request that you came back to take her class if you didn't pass it. So she was very serious. I only had her once. And then also on the sports field, I have to thank people like a gentleman by the name of Chuck Penagor, who coached down in Heathwood for Douglas State Bank. And then also my first baseball coach, a gentleman named Sherman Roblox Jones, who later became a senator, who was coaching at Turner House. He was my first coach. And then I was a musician. I can thank Reginald Buckner, who was my teacher at Northeast. And then also I want to thank my sixth grade teacher, Patricia Harris. Some of these people probably remember some of these names. They were around in the school district for a long time. Because when I was in the sixth grade, I enjoyed baseball. And the World Series at that time, all the games were played in the daytime. And she brought a TV to school, said, if you finish your work, we're going to watch the World Series. And it was the St. Louis Cardinals against the Boston Red Sox. And so the first time I watched the World Series, it was in my classroom. And then over the years, I took a class called Sports Literature. It was a class they were experimenting with at Wyandotte High School. And I took the class, and for me, that was a breeze, because I really enjoyed sports and I knew a lot about it. But the teacher was Ray Daniels. He's here tonight. Easiest A I ever made. And this past summer in June, I ran in the Senior Olympics. So you have to be 50 and older. I went and ran the 200, the 100 meter, the 50-yard dash. And I could thank Harold Wright, my gym teacher at Northeast, for instilling that in me. And then over the years, the last one I might mention is, my football coach at Wyandotte, Coach Perry. And of course, I mentioned Ray Daniels. And there was a gentleman named Fenton, who was a history teacher at Wyandotte. And I've used all of those experiences to make me who I am today. And everything I do is really standing on the shoulders of giants. I might mention also, I try to encourage young people when I talk to them not to take your teachers for granted, not to take your education for granted. And then I give them a small test. So I have everyone pull out a sheet of paper, and I said, I want you to write down all the college graduates you know. And so they start writing, and they're thinking about, well, I've got a cousin, and there's one other person I know, and most children will have 3 or 4 people. And I use this to teach. And I tell them this one thing real simple. I say, you know what? You're taking your teachers for granted because every single one of them has a college degree and none of them are on your list. And this helps those children to become more aware of their surroundings. And these are the type of things I do. And so I'm so happy tonight to receive this award. I think this is a great district, and I'm so proud to call Kansas City, Kansas, my home. So thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
Our next honoree, our alum this evening, is from the class of 1965, Mr. Harold L. Simmons. Harold Simmons believes his greatest accomplishment is being of service to others, and for the past 14 years he has dedicated his life to doing just that. As president of the largest Baptist men's organization in the United States, the National Baptist Laymen's Movement, he travels around the country conducting workshops, lecturing, and promoting Christian fellowship. This is Harold's second career in life. He previously spent more than 30 years with the KCK Police Department. He started out as a beat walker. From there, he moved on to the other units in the department, including homicide and fraud. He retired as a detective in the Vice Unit. He brought the DARE program to the community, and he worked to improve racial relations. He remembers the support and discipline provided to him by his teachers in the KCK public schools. His high school basketball coach, Walt Schublum, helped him get a scholarship to play ball at KCK Community College, which led to a scholarship to play at Murray State. Harold's advice for today's students is, learn all you can and get all the education you can. Then turn it over to the Lord to be used for good in your community. Please welcome Mr. Harold Simmons.
All praise to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and to Dr. Lane and all of the officers and all of you, honorees, and all you my brothers and sisters in Christ. Good evening. It's so good just to be here, to accept such an honor, to be here in this presence. It's overwhelming when you know where you come from, because I come from the streets of Kansas City, Kansas. Back in the day, I was a 10th Street boy, and I had an earned doctorate degree in being a great sinner. I want to thank my brother, John Turner, who's a police officer. I have Mike Simmons, a police officer as well, who, with him and my wife, that wrote up the paperwork. And a big thank you to Dr. Robert L. Bainham for the letter he wrote, and also to Sheriff Don Ash, because we worked together a lot over the years. My mother and family and church members are all here. In fact, raise your hand, 8th Street, family, friends. We got 8th Street all in the building. Amen. Yeah. Thank God for them, my mother and my wife. The Lord gave me a great blessing when he gave me my wife. We met and married in 3 months. 22 years. We met and married. Amen. I did not date her to marry her. I married her to date her. Amen. We thank God to be here. That's Sheriff Ash. God bless you. Raise your hand, Sheriff. Yeah, we worked together for a number of years on the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. There's a lot of things I'd love to say. Some of the memorable things is that when we were police officers, Brother Paul is here, I see, and with firefighters, and the black firefighters and police officers come together to do black history in the schools. And we had black and white officers and firefighters to dress up as past people in the past, our history, to come forward to show them that it's not black against white, it's justice against injustice. We got a chance to teach. NAACP was formed in the mind of a white man, Henry Maskowitz, who went to W.B. Du Bois, who was over the Niagara movement to go with NAACP. 2 of the Mississippi 3 that got killed were white. And we put all of that together to come into the schools to show the children that it's not a black against white issue. In fact, as we began to talk about making a difference, Edmund Burke said, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Martin Luther King said, if a nation or civilization continues to make soft-minded weak men, they will prepare weak men. They will prepare spiritually weak men on the installment plan. I was looking in the scripture in Jude 21:22. It says, keep yourselves in the love of God, looking for the mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ into eternal life. and of some having compassion, making a difference. As we went through the schools of Kansas City, Kansas, we were prepared to make a difference. As I went to Douglas School, and Douglas School was named after Bishop Calvin Douglas of the AME Church, who was president of Western University. I went through Douglas School, and the teachers made a difference. I went to Quindaro School. Quindaro School actually was named by Abelard Guthrie, who named that settlement after his wife, Nancy Brown Guthrie, whose Wyandotte Indian name was Quindaro. And as I went through Quindaro, it prepared us for what we were supposed to do. When I went to Northwestern Wyandotte, there was a preparation, as Sister Nedrid said, we grew up together down the street. There was white, mostly white. My graduating class was over 60 of black, and black is a metaphor for experience. Most of the 772 was my graduating class. But the word university means finding unity in diversity. And at Wyandotte, we found unity in diversity. It prepared us for what we are supposed to do in the lives of our people today. We travel the country teaching our young men how to be a man. Pull up them britches. Get a job. Take care of your own kids. You be a man. And I tell our young brothers, the women don't want no weak Negro. They want a man. We need some strong men that can show these young boys how to be a man, and strong men that our young ladies can look at and know what to look for in a man. And we're here to make a difference. I'm also going to challenge this class. There's something that this class can do if we come together in our unity, in diversity, and be able to do something that could make a difference. We're going to make a difference individually. But what can we do collectively from this class? We got some great witness, we got some great experience and knowledge. Mr. Pitts has touched everybody's life. Amen. People he don't even know. Brother Jennings, we know him. We grew up. We can make a difference. And I just want to thank everybody that recognized us. And I see Chief Armstrong back there. Yeah. We used to play a lot of ball together. And we just want to make a difference. As I close, I want to thank all of you just for whoever it was that put this together, continue this. Mr. White, we worked so good together. Brother Sheriff Ash and I used to go around the churches singing as singing police officers. We had a black, a white, and a Hispanic. And we went to a lot of churches, and we sang, and even we began to teach Sunday school, and he could preach a little bit. So, Sister Principal, one of these days, I'm going to get Sheriff, and we're going to come sing. Thank God for all of you and for all that you represent. And let's continue to make a difference in the lives of our people. God bless you. God keep you.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Marcos, and I'm the proud principal at J.C. Harmon High School. It is my honor to introduce the next member of the Reasons to Believe, Dr. Christy Walter, class of 1976. Dr. Walter is a professor and chair of the Department of Cellular and Structural Biology at the University of Texas Health Science Center. She holds a joint appointment in research and development at the South Texas Veterans Healthcare System. She has been an active independent researcher since 1988 and is one of only a few women in the U.S. to chair a department in medical school. She finds her work gratifying because it allows her to make a difference while also satisfying her own curiosity as to how things function, and to simultaneously cultivate the appetite of students fascinated by science. It was her high school biology teacher, Mr. Rogers, who ignited Christie's fervor for field of science. His energy and enthusiasm in the classroom intrigued her. He mentored her first independent lab experience, and it enabled her to see that she was passionate about doing science. In 2007, the University of Texas Health Science Center presented Christie with the Faculty Senate Administration Leadership Award for her administrative leadership. She feels that one of her greatest accomplishments is training PhD students in her lab. Congratulations, Christie.
Well, I'm deeply honored to be here tonight, and it's with great appreciation that I acknowledge this recognition from Dr. Lane, the Kansas City, Kansas School Board, the many teachers who had an impact on my life, my friends, and my family. So I'm going to give you a little bit about my journey. I promise not to go too long because I know y'all want to get home and see the Chiefs game. But I have to tell you, I started school when I was 5, and 51 years later, I'm still in school. Now, before you think I couldn't graduate, I did. I graduated high school in 1976, went on and got a bachelor's degree from Rockhurst College here in Kansas City, Missouri. Went to graduate school at Florida State, 4 years of postdoctoral training at MD Anderson Cancer Center. My first job was an assistant professor at an academic institution, and I'm still at an academic institution. Learning is a glorious thing. Discovering new knowledge is a glorious thing. And it warmed my heart tonight as I walked downstairs from the photo with the cadet, and I asked her, "What are you thinking about? What's in your future?" And she said, "I want to go to Stanford. I'm interested in chemical engineering or engineering." That's an aspiration, and one you can be proud of from the school district. And I couldn't be prouder ever as a woman, because I know how hard it is to make your way up through a male-dominated profession. And she's going to do it, and thanks to the people around her. So the people that are special to me in this journey are a wonderful family, incredibly progressive parents who never once told me, "You shouldn't be thinking about science, you're a girl." Wonderful friends, lifelong friends, Sherry, who nominated me for this award, and Patty sitting next to her. I met both those people, one at TA Edison and one at Rosedale when it was still 7th through 12th grade. They have been the best friends of my life, and they are the ones I can still count on when I need a friend. So more than just an education about academics, our time in the Kansas City, Kansas School District teaches us about the people we need to surround ourselves with to be successful. And I'm very grateful to have found two such wonderful friends. And then I think about the teachers who had the most impact on my life. They've all had an impact one way or another. Some of them more positive than others. And I'm sure you can think of some examples yourselves. But I started on the right foot because of Mrs. Kelly, my kindergarten teacher. She was a warm, compassionate person, just the right personality to help somebody think about school in a positive way, to get started out thinking this is going to be wonderful. And then 3rd grade teacher was very special. I was painfully shy as a child, and she just connected so readily with every student in her class. I still communicate with her every Christmas. We exchange Christmas cards. When I was in high school, I was her babysitter. And then the one who had the most impact on my professional life has been Mr. Rogers, who is here tonight. He was my high school biology teacher, and by his allowing me the opportunity to try some things in the lab, not the cookbook laboratories that we did with the classes, but to try some things in the lab and an independent study, really allowed me to recognize how much fun doing science can be, that you're learning something new every day, and you're seeing things for the first time that nobody else has ever seen. I never do the same thing 2 days in a row. And so it's a wonderful, rich, and full life because of the people that have helped me, because of the school system that nurtured me, and because of my own insatiable desire for knowledge. So thank you very much, everyone.
Good evening. I am Yolanda Thompson. I am the very proud principal of F.L. Schlegel High School. Well, thank you. I am here to present Marcus Newsom as F.L. Schlegel's 2014 Reason to Believe. Marcus Newsom is the head men's and women's track and field coach and assistant athletic director at Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa. He has led the women's track team to 29 consecutive conference track and field championships since 1999 and 8 national championships. The men have won 16 conference titles. But Marcus doesn't measure success by titles or trophies. He measures it by character, scholarship, and attitude. He recruits students based on these attributes because he believes that's what makes them good athletes. At Schlegel High School, Marcus played football, wrestled, and ran track. He had a number of teachers and coaches who gave him reasons to believe in himself. Mrs. Fields, his English teacher, taught him how to write, a skill that was invaluable to him in college. Coach Randy Westfall mentored him as a player and served as a father figure. Athletic director Mary Stewart taught him and the other athletes to be good young men of character. However, his mother was his greatest mentor and supporter and the best coach he has ever had. He is thankful that he grew up in a diverse school district and with teachers who were passionate about teaching and mentoring students. He tries to emulate that in his work today. We are honored to present this award to you, Marcus.
I have a few notes here, so first of all, I would like to congratulate all of the 2014 recipients as well as all the alumni. It is extremely humbling to be standing here tonight. In my reflection of growing up off of 7th and Parallel, being raised by a strong Christian woman, single parent who's bound and determined to see me be successful. When I received the email, I sat in my office and was completely blown away. One of the things I told Tammy when she called me, I just was so humbled and thanked her. Last year was Wartburg College 8th Women's National Championship. And we are, fortunately, last year was the third only school in NCAA history between Division I, II, and III to have won 3 consecutive national championships in a row. No one has ever won 4 in a row, and we will. I'm sorry, that's just the coach in me. But I shared with Tammy when she called me, and she told me who nominated me. I shared with Tammy, and I also shared with Mrs. Stewart, my athletic director at Sligo High School. I said to her when she called me, and I thanked her for the nomination, and I said to her, it's very interesting of this nomination. It's because last year, after winning 8 national championships and after winning 3 consecutive, and people talked about it and wrote about it, my wife asked me at one point, are you not excited? What is wrong? And I shared with my wife, I said, this is an awesome accomplishment. But there's one thing that bothers me. And she said, what? I said, I just want the coaches, the administrators, the community of Kansas City to know that I'm doing okay. Because without this community, I wouldn't be standing here today. So, to this community, I'm doing okay. But I got a lot of work to do. To my teachers, Mrs. Fields, who taught me how to write. That first collegiate paper I wrote was a challenge. And I worked hard. And I went to the writing center. And I got it proofread. And I put the work into it. And when that professor walked to my desk, and when she was walking to some of the athletes' desks and turning the paper upside down, and she got to my desk and she gave it to me, not upside down. And I looked at that grade and I saw that B+ on there. That's Miss Fields. To Miss Hassick, who took me to her house to help me study for her ACT test with their own money, with their own time. Tonight, this is Miss Hassick's award. To Miss McCabe, our forensics coach and teacher and our speech coach and teacher, who challenged me and to try out to be the senior speaker for our graduation. And I looked at her and I said, I can't do that. Yet to be chosen to be the class of '88 senior speaker. This award is to Mrs. McCabe and to Miss LeVar, our principal. To see women in leadership. See, I was raised watching women in leadership in my own home and my own family. But to continue that in the school system was amazing. Her leadership, without that, this wouldn't be possible. And to Mrs. Stewart, another woman in a leadership position. See, again, I experienced that in my home and in my church and in my community, but again, to have that in the school system. Without Mrs. Stewart, this would not be possible. But to Coach Westphal, my role model, my father figure. I often reflect that you came from Western Kansas to come and coach and teach in the inner city. Why? Because you believed in young men like myself. You could have went anywhere you wanted, but you stayed. You mentored, you coached us, you disciplined us. You took us in your home day after day. You helped my mother raise me. And to Susie, every last one of our boys was your sons. Thank you. To my family. My family. My mother, hands down, is the best coach I've ever had. There's many faces in this crowd that I know, and I thank you for all of your support. My aunt Joanne used to send me scriptures when I was in college, just empowering me. She used to send me a $5 bill for laundry. To my family, I thank you. I can't stand up here and not thank my church. To my church, Metropolitan, thank you. To Mosai, to Asa, and to Che Marcus. Those are my 3 beautiful blessings. I want you to know there's a reason why Dad is hard on you. I thank my boys because as a college coach, I'm gone a lot. And I tell them they need to be great men. They need to help mom out. They need to help each other out. And they're boys, and they do that. But there's sometimes I gotta call on the phone and get after them a little bit. But to my boys, thank you for allowing Dad to have and be a part of this profession of a college coach. To my wife, it is hard to be a coach's wife. Stephanie, not one championship would have ever happened if it's not for you and your love and our relationship. So thank you. In closing, I carry this in my wallet for about the past 10 years says, my successful formula, coaching philosophy. And this is a reminder to me in every day, in everything I do, these are my coaching principles. And I believe that every last one of you all in this room have the opportunity to coach every single day in some kind of capacity. So I will leave you with these. Every day is a blessing, so live. Believe in the struggle, your journey, your path, your story. Live life with integrity. Be the best person you can be every day. Never place blame or judgment. It's not up to you to do. That's from my mother. Forgive. Embrace times of adversity and joy. Believe in your dreams. And the last one, every single day, live life with passion and by passion and not by feel. I challenge you all with this. My mother said to me a year ago, when I called her and I said, Mom, I have a great opportunity in front of me. And that great opportunity is this, you all. Over the last 5 years, I've probably have turned down about 15 Division I head jobs. Jobs you see on ESPN. And my mom, I told her one particular job, and I said, Mom, it changes everything. And she said to me, son, have God said that your work at Wartburg is done? And if you can't tell me yes to that, I've taught you to follow God's lead, not man's lead. For all of us in this incredible school district, the 500 district, have God said that your work in this district is done? Because if it's not, stay the course and trust the process. Thank you.
The Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools has established strong partnerships with businesses and community agencies to reach our goal of graduating each of our students prepared for college and careers in a global society. One of these partners is the law firm of McEnany, Van Cleve, and Phillips. Since 2007, this firm has generously provided 2 reasons to believe scholarships to our students to show their support and belief in them and to help them achieve their dreams. It's my pleasure to introduce Daryl Wynn, who will honor the recipients of the 2014 Reasons to Believe scholarships.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the experience this evening. And you know, one of the things that struck me as I listened is that we missed one point. We talk about this as being a reason to believe for students. But in looking out over the audience, each adult that came up here affirmed some of the things that as adults we need to remember. And each of you that presented today were also a reason to believe for each of us. And so not only the students were inspired by the remarks and the examples of the individuals honored today, but the grown-ups were. And I saw you smiling and nodding, some of you taking a lot of pride in your schools, which is great too. But it was just pride in this community and this school district, which is just a wonderful thing. Having said that, let me continue. On behalf of my firm, I am pleased and honored to present 2 scholarships in the amount of $1,250 this evening, and this is my firm's way of encouraging and giving back to the community and encouraging the students to continue their pursuit of excellence, and to let you know that there are business partners throughout this community that believe in your success. Now, the annual Reasons to Believe Scholarship Program is open to seniors in the district's high schools. Students are judged on their academic performance and their activities in the community and in their schools. They must have at least a 2.5 grade point average or higher and have a 90% attendance average in school. And they must submit information about school activities and community involvement. Each student is also required to write at least a one-page essay focusing on what the Kansas City, Kansas School District means to them and how the district has helped prepare them for their futures. Each year it's difficult to narrow the field to 2 students because all of the applicants are so deserving. Tonight, however, it's my honor to recognize the 2 that were chosen. First scholarship goes to Krista Primers. She's a senior at Sumner Academy of Arts and Sciences. Krista has attended the Kansas City Public Schools since elementary school, and she said that the lessons she learned here she will take with her throughout her journey in life. Now, I got to meet with her, and both of our awardees tonight are in the healing and helping arts. I'm going to tell you what Krista's going to be again. I got off script a little bit. I'm back on script now. Krista is always eager to learn and challenge herself. She has taken some of the most difficult academic coursework at Sumner. She has a strong work ethic and is committed to her education and to a future that involves higher learning. Her high school counselor describes her as a leader who is dedicated to success. She said her work is full of effort, creativity, individuality, and thought. Krista said she is inspired every day by the faces of the Reasons to Believe alumni who she sees on the banners hanging in the gym at Sumner. She said it encourages her to reach her goals. At Sumner, she is involved in the student council, the dance team, and symphonic orchestra. She is active in the African American Student Association and the junior band. She serves as a group leader at the Boys and Girls Club in Wyandotte County. In fact, she has served as the club mayor for the past 3 years. A mayor for 3 years. The unit director said of Krista, and I'm quoting, "She is genuinely interested in helping others. She is an excellent model student and citizen and is a great asset to her club, her members, and staff." Krista plans to attend K-State University next fall, and her area of study is social work. What she wants to do is be involved in social work to help kids in foster care. She says that she wants to make a difference because she believes that this is what she's been called to do. It's my honor to award her with the scholarship and to invite her to the stage, someone that's going to be involved in the healing and helping arts, and who not too long from now is going to come back and guess what? Going to be another reason to believe and joining the gym of other honorees at Sumner Academy of Arts and Science. Come on up.
I want to say thank you to all of my teachers that I've had since I've been in elementary school up until now. I'm in Sumner Academy. This scholarship is really great for me. It's helping invest in my future so I can go help invest in other kids' future once I'm done with my degree, and I can come back and help and give back to my community. Thank you.
Our second scholarship goes to Juan Tirado Garcia. He's a senior at J.C. Harmon High School. Juan excels in academics and is a member of the National Honor Society. He ranks 4th in his class at Harmon. He has many leadership roles. He is a member of the marching band and is a band president. He is involved in the 2020 Leadership Program and is a member of the KU Medical Scholars Program and is a senior class president. He is also captain of the track and field team. So he does the track, he's in band, he's in National Honor Society. Oh, by the way, he's accumulated more than 200 community service hours, and one of these volunteer jobs is serving as a translator for Family Advocacy Days at John Fisk Elementary School. One of the teachers there said of Juan, and I'm quoting, quote, "He is willing to help and is always positive. He is very respectful and kind to the families. It is obvious that the families in the community regard him with respect and admiration." Juan has taken a number of college courses while in high school. The college prep work is preparing him for his future, and he is thankful to the district for providing this type of support. Juan said there is a quote that guides his life. It says, quote, "Every morning you have two choices. Continue your sleep with dreaming or wake up and chase your dreams." Close quote. He chooses to do the latter. Juan aspires to attend the University of Kansas, go Jayhawks, next year to major in biology. And his dream is to become a dermatologist. And I talked with him and I asked him why. And he talked about the difficulties some people experience with skin diseases, and he wants to help them with that. And he also is a helper and a healer and wants to cure them. In this district, raising students to care about others and to put others ahead of themselves seems to be something that we've kind of knocked out and done pretty well at. Juan, it's important for you to know that we believe in you. And I met with him earlier, and he was very nervous. I said, "Don't worry, these people love you. They're like family." That made him a little more nervous. Having said that, one of the things that I asked him is who made the most difference in your life? And he talked about the principal that made the difference in his life, and he also said that he may also go to St. Mary depending on what strikes him. But this is a young man with options and who has been inspired to excellence. And one day I'm going to be sending one of my sons to you because we're spending a lot of money on dermatologists. I'd rather see him to a friend. Please come up and accept your award, Juan.
Good evening. I also have notes. So I want to thank Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools for all they do in educating students and believing the best in us. I am also grateful to McAnnie, Van Clear, and Phillips for the Reasons to Believe Scholarship. It is an honor to receive this scholarship too. It means a lot to me. And again, this is helping me for my future, like how I'll help others out when I'm like up there in the big world. I also want to give a huge shout out to my parents who are sitting over there. They have helped me since I was stage one. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now because like there's many of days where I want to give up, but they're always there for me, and it's really hard to stay over involved like how I am now. So I just challenge myself to new things, and I learned my lesson. I'm just not going to stay over involved in college. I'm just going to focus on a couple of things. I just wanted to open up online more. My plan is to go to college and continue to med school, where I will focus on dermatology. Again, thank you all for coming.
Good evening. I'm Tammy Dotteridge, and I'm here to close the program this evening. I want to thank some of our staff and our volunteers for making this program possible. First, I want to thank our Chief of Staff, David Smith, who's also my supervisor, and who's very supportive. I want to thank Teresa Van Gotham, who's standing right back here. She's collaborated with me on so many aspects of this program, from the invitations to the scholarships, and she takes care of the volunteers and the reception. So thank you, Van. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you, Mary Ventura. She's one of our reasons to believe in the past, too. So is Van, for coming and helping. To Carmen Reed, Grace Elmore, and to Lonnie in our print shop, who does an amazing job. All these materials are printed here in-house by our print shop. So I thank them. Special thanks to our cadets, our ROTC cadets. They've been incredible tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Another thank you out to Becky Thomas and the Sumner Academy Chorale seniors. They were incredible, so I appreciate them. I want to encourage all of you to know, to look for future nominations. Nominations are open now, and we have these booklets out that give you some details with the nomination form. So please pick one of those up, and you can learn about all of our past Reasons Alumni Honor Roll members on our website. 146 now with this new class. So please go to our website and check those out. Finally, I want to extend my personal thanks to all of our alumni recipients this evening. You shared your stories with me, and it allows me to share them with our students in the world, and thank you for that. When anyone asks me what my favorite part of my job is, I always talk about our amazing alumni in this program. So it's incredible. You inspire me more than you know. Thank you. Please take a few minutes to congratulate all of them and enjoy some refreshments, and we hope to see all of you next year. Thank you.